step up?
Don't you get the feeling that you're being watched?
You're the one that told me to have some hope.
This place. Look, I can't put my finger on it just yet, but something is going on.
To more beautiful babies.
To more beautiful babies.
It's for humanity.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Screenstars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2022 thriller film, The Institute, a film that is written and directed by Hamza Zaman, and it stars, and I hope I pronounced this name right, Ignacio Matiana, and I'm sure I haven't, and I apologise if I haven't, and Victoria Brandart. Now, the film focuses on a young couple, Daniel and Marie, who have suffered a tragedy in regards to trying to have children. Something went wrong. And they've been trying ever since with IVF and all this kind of stuff with no success. They're about to give up. And they discover a new institute that claims they can help any couple to conceive and have a child. So they managed to get into this institute, and the program there is a little bit odd, a little bit strange, but they're prepared to give it a go in order to try and get results. But as time goes on, things start to feel a little bit more sinister. They feel like they're being watched, and they feel like they're there for other reasons than what is being explained to them. Right, what is my thought on The Institute? This film is... how best to describe it, really? It's a decent watch. It's a subject matter that obviously affects a lot of people, and I thought as well the performances, certainly by the two central characters, were of a good standard for a low budget film. I thought they actually brought a lot. They felt like a real couple. You felt like they'd suffered a tragedy, that they suffered loss, and they were at the stage where they would pretty much do anything to have a child, certainly the Marie character. So you could understand why they would be driven to this institute that promises all these results. When they're at I think the problem with the film for me is pacing, in a sense of massive chunk of this film is just them existing at this institute. Drinking what they're told to drink, eating what they're told to eat, having examinations they're told to have, and interacting with the other people within the institute, being treated like them. And that cycle goes on and on and on. And occasionally the husband, Daniel, will pipe up with his concerns. He's got concerns of being watched. He's trying to find out if that's the case. He's got concerns about the legitimacy of the treatment. He's got concern about a few things. But you have, as well as an audience member. He's not really, telling us we don't already know. We know we've got concerns because we can see that the guy running the institute, Dr. Arthur Lands, played by Mark Lobine, is a bit of a creep because he's spying on them, he's watching them on cameras, even when they're being intimate with each other, so you know that something just isn't right. It reminded me a little bit, and this may be an unfair comparison, the film Get Out, in the sense of you never really felt comfortable in that film, you knew something wasn't right, and then obviously what happened with that. Now this film... get rid of like the social commentary in the Get Out. There's no social commentary really, but it kind of feels a little bit like that. There's something under the surface going on. There's something sinister going on. You just don't know what it is. And then when you actually get to the point in the film where the reveal takes place of what is actually happening, it gets a bit weird, I suppose. I mean, it wasn't really a surprise. It's kind of what I had in my head as to what was going on. But it raises a whole other array of questions in regards to how weird it gets by the end. I mean, this institute claims that, it's helped couples conceive and have children, many, many times, and they've got their success stories as littered all over the building and the institute. And then when you look at what happens at the end, it just kind of raises all the questions of, well, what about those couples? How come this is happening to this couple? So it just kind of raises an awful lot of questions that you never really get answers to. Some of the effects, I mean, there's not a lot of effects here, but there is some near the end of the film, and they're actually okay in regards to makeup effects. But there was a green screen effect at the beginning of the film that threatened to really, really kick me out of the film in regards to my mental focus. They're in a car traveling to the institute, and the green screen effect of when they're in the car, with the thing zooming past them, was shockingly bad, amongst the worst I've ever seen. And at that point, I was worried. I was like, "Oh, this is going to be really bad, isn't it?" Thankfully, it didn't spoil the film, but it really didn't help either in regards to setting up the scene and things like that. The treatment that they're given as well, shall we say, gets rid of any inhibitions that the couples may have, in a sense of they're all a little bit familiar with each other in regards to the film. There's a bit of skin here and there. But kind of makes sense. They're trying to conceive. It kind of fits in with the film. It doesn't feel like it doesn't belong. Like some films, it feels forced. In this film, it felt kind of natural, I suppose, even though it does get a bit weird too. And the wife as well, she just, for me, it didn't make sense. When the husband discovers that they're being watched and he's got proof and all this kind of stuff, she don't want to know. I mean, I get that she's desperate to have a baby, but most women, if they found out they were being spied on, especially when they're being intimate with their partners or husbands, would probably freak out regardless of how much they wanted a baby or not. And she doesn't seem to actually give a monkey's. Part of me thought that was because of maybe the treatment, and it was kind of drugging them up and making her not care, but that didn't seem to be the case. So there's a few little plot holes that pop up here and there that don't make an awful lot of sense. It's not a badly made film, even if at times it does rear its head in regards to low budget. But it does a decent amount with the budget that it's got, and it's a watchable thriller. Is the best kind of compliment I can give this one. So I'm going to give it a 4.5 out of 10. Nothing special. You've seen better, but I've certainly seen an awful lot worse as well. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the review. I'll be back with more reviews and content on the channel very, very soon.